Welcome to the Sex, Money, and Real Estate Podcast, the show for real estate couples about how to close more deals in the bedroom. My name is Bill Jamison.
And I'm Nancy Jamison.
And each week we deep dive into juicy, intentional, sexy conversations, sharing with you what it takes to create balance in your intimate relationships and your real estate business. Thank you so much for being here. Shall we begin?
Hey, baby.
Hey, baby.
What's going on?
Oh my gosh. Lots of stuff is going on. And I appreciate being here with you, taking time and sitting and recording here with you in our space, in the sex, money, and real estate space, the podcast pod.
Yes. Yes.
What's going on with you? How you feeling?
I feel great. We've had a great couple of days where they've been a little longer, and I feel like a longer sleep for me would do me good. But other than that, yeah, it's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful day, inside and out.
Great.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, cool. Well, before we get started, welcome everyone to the Sex, Money, Real Estate Podcast. This episode is called We Use Sex and Sexual Energy to Power Our Business, Fuel Our Business. And we're really excited to get this conversation going for you and on the way for you. So I am Nancy Jamison, your co-host, and this is my beloved, amazing, super sexy, wise, talented husband and co-host, Bill Jamison.
Hello.
And thank you so much for being here again. Shall we begin?
Yeah, but before we begin, I would like to know what your magic is today.
Oh, okay, cool. Let's see. My magic is all around our Christmas decorations.
Cool. So magic, as we define it, is
your ability to
you influence others in an empowering way. Self, others, or life.
Yes, in an empowering way. Because you absolutely can influence people in a disempowering way or a negative way. And we choose to look at magic as how do we influence in positive ways? How do we add? How do we contribute to? And we do that by contributing to ourselves, contributing to others, contributing to life. So life is business. Life is, anything related to universe or universal energy or God, if you choose to call it that, or your business, podcasting, creativity, creation, anything like that. So awesome.
So you have some magic around?
Yeah. So back to my Christmas decorations. So
that's life magic?
Yes, absolutely. Well, and it's other magic too. And it's going to be self magic because I love Christmas.
Okay, cool.
So we love the holidays. I love the holidays. And about 5 years ago, we decided to move the boys for us personally, to receiving experiences for Christmas instead of all of the holiday extra stuff. So they can get toys and all of those other things from all of their extraneous relatives and amazing relatives and all of that kind of stuff. But, they're the only grandchildren, so they get a lot of crap. So
they get some good stuff too.
They get some great stuff, but
and they get some crap.
I mean, it definitely, like multiplies. It's like a gremlin. So what we decided to do as parents was say thank you very much for all of the amazing things that you're purchasing for our children, and we're going to give them experiences. So experiences looked like going camping on the beach or taking them on a couple of different international cruises to a bunch of different countries or things like that. And so this year we decided to stay home and really utilize this time as a family bonding time and just stay home because we haven't been home for Christmas in, a few years. So that means that we haven't had the opportunity to put up all of our decorations for Christmas.
That's true.
And this year we put up all the decorations and then some. So it's really beautiful. And it creates such happiness and joy and really what it's making me realize is that I can take that holiday spirit, and I'm air quoting here, the holiday spirit, and just really make that part of my everyday and imbue that holiday spirit, that joy, that love, that zhuzh every day. So
the holiday spirit could be your spirit every day, is what I'm hearing you say.
Yeah, just abundance and fun loving and joyous and easy and giving and all of those things. Just feeling that abundance. So that's what I'm appreciative for. And the house looks great. I mean, it's so beautiful.
Nice, awesome. Anything else?
No, I'm complete. What
All
is
right.
your magic, baby?
No, I have some pretty simple magic.
Are you saying that my magic was complex?
Oh my gosh, so complex, multifaceted.
Yes.
No, actually, it's amazing, all the same. And I realized last week when I was looking through some of our episodes that when we recorded Luke's episode, it was number 50.
Yeah.
And I'm just I'm inspired by us for having 50 of these, in the can, so to speak.
Yeah.
It's been a great project. There's been some ups and downs on this podcast for sure. From our synergy to maintaining the schedule to get it done, and other things in between. And things come up.
Pandemic.
Pandemic, right? Pandemics come up and
did not forecast the pandemic.
No, and people come home and knock on the door, and all the stuff. So I am just to be at number 50 at the end of the year is I think is freaking fantastic.
Absolutely, it's beautiful. I love that. Yay!
Yay us!
Yay us!
Cool.
Take it, baby.
What am I taking? All right. So for this podcast, we've been talking to. We haven't really been talking to them, but we've gotten some comments.
Communicating with a couple of our listeners.
Yeah, that we got some feedback from 2 episodes ago. We did a episode on abundant love, and the feedback is awesome episode. Thank you guys for putting the concept out. And it seemed a little, what's the word? Like esoteric.
Oh, yeah. Like what's the, So, give us a little bit more nuts and bolts. Give us a little bit more like detail, like bring it down a couple notches. And so that's what we're doing here. So,
yeah. So, kind of getting back into it, and really, a lot of times we think about like what is the craziest thing in our real estate business, right? And we get asked that,
right? And we've been doing real estate since 2001. I mean, you've been doing real estate, and I've been helping you behind the scenes. And then I joined the team, and then so on and so forth. So since 2001, we've been doing real estate.
And we've seen a few things here and there. I mean, we've seen some people smoking some stuff and
smoking crack.
Yeah,
let's just be real.
And we've seen some party toys out.
Yeah, dildos. Sex toys, sex swings, sex rooms, all the BDSM with the combination lock. Oh, you can't go in here unless we're under contract or whatever.
Yeah,
all that kind of stuff.
The closets with the combination locks on them. Yeah.
Absolutely. Which is cool. I mean, there's
right.
It's awesome. We're just saying that we have seen a lot of things. Yeah. A lot of bongs, a lot of distilleries.
I don't remember the distillery.
What else? Oh my gosh. There was this one house that I showed in Buckhead. It literally like the room was enormous, and the amount of shoes that this woman had, and I guess maybe a man, because I don't know, but it was literally thousands of pairs of shoes, and they were organized in rainbow order in their own little clear boxes.
Yes.
Fascinating. So lots
all kinds of crazy stuff, but it's still not the craziest thing about our business.
No, it's not.
What is the craziest thing about our business?
So the craziest thing about our business that we consider, I guess, the craziest thing about our business is that we utilize sex and sexual energy to power our personal life and our businesses. In fact, it's a cornerstone of Jamison and Company that maturely practicing sex for the purpose of manifestation. It's what we do.
Yeah.
It's what we do. I mean, that's as simple and as, that's just really us breaking it down.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's an interesting concept, I think, for many. And what I think is kind of funny is that, we're here talking about it, and we're talking about it as being, like the craziest part of our business. And it doesn't feel crazy to me,
Not at all.
but I think could seem crazy to some people.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And I get it. I mean, we've been practicing this since, it's been a long time, years since, we started with you and I, years ago, 12 years ago, 10 years. How old's Luke? 13 years ago.
Yeah.
So, it's definitely something that fuels our bank account. The energy fuels our family. It fuels us as a couple. We realize and understand and are very aware that keeping our sex up increases our emotional maturity.
Yeah.
It increases our intimacy. And when those things go up, our businesses go up and they stay up and our life force stays high. And so when we're working on our sexual energy, money shows up.
Yep, sure does. And it is really interesting, because we have certain, sexual practices, throughout the week and sometimes throughout the day that help support the lifestyle that we're living into. And and if you've all ever listened to our first podcast about oming, that's one of the things.
So that podcast is on orgasmic meditation.
Yeah,
so it's our very first podcast, number 1.
Yep.
So go back and listen to that one.
And so when we're oming, we'll get a lead
all the time.
Or when we're oming, when we're complete, and we'll go out to the mailbox and a coaching check has showed up. Or when we're oming, I don't know. There's a lot of different ways.
We're getting referrals, or we're getting resources, or we're getting just all kinds of things that lead to all kinds of businesses. And we're not, we're saying a lead, but the lead is a listing lead, like a come sign me listing for $500,000. And in our market, that's a $15,000 commission check for the company. So it's significant. It's significant. And sometimes they're more than that, and sometimes they're less than that. But it is something that we definitely have experience in, and sometimes it comes in simultaneously, or it'll show up right after, or it'll show up that same day.
Yes.
Like I remember we had an ohm, and 6 hours later, we were gifted a year's worth of free mastery coaching. And if anybody knows that cost of that, that's typically, for us, it was a $1,200 a month coaching.
Yeah.
Free coaching for 12 months. So so that, again, that's a lot.
Yep.
It's a lot. And it happens way more often than not. And it is crazy, and you just can't make this shit up. And sometimes it doesn't make any sense. And it's not of the mind. It's not.
Right, because it's of the heart, and it's of the energy around it. It's the, energy fuels, the energy around us fuels everything. That's source energy.
Yes.
And, when I think about source energy, and from the, some of the work that we've done over the years, we know that source energy and sexual energy are akin to one another. So it's that ultimate creative energy that you tap into, so that you can be, closer to source, closer to yourself, and more synced up and in tune with the world around you. You read in the Tao, we hired a master coach to help us navigate a little bit.
Yep, absolutely. And so that's what we're doing. So our purpose in going through this conversation again is to be transparent and to share, because by being transparent and sharing, it helps and support other people about where they are in their journey, and listening to our journey. And, we believe in standing on the shoulders of giants, and why make the same mistakes that we did, or why go through the same heartbreak that we did, and when you can have an understanding of our story and then learn from us. So that's what we're doing. Like we're just breaking it down. And, frankly, as the real estate agent, like real estate is hard enough.
Right.
Basically, NAR says, National Association of Realtors says that there's an 85% turnover of agents every 5 years. And then y'all know the divorce rate. Say it with me. 1, 2, 3.
50%. Right.
And so you know.
So the odds are not forever in your favor.
No. And so the way we view sex money, and obviously real estate, or really, in this instance, it's sex money and the source energy. It's the construct of it all has us set up to lose and to be dependent on each other. In other words, we're taught to be codependent. We're taught to think that there is not enough. We're taught to think that one person can be the totality of it all for all things. And we prefer to look at it, and we were taught the same thing. And we practiced that like full on 100% monogamous, committed for, we're still committed. But we were taught, and we were in that, and we were living that lifestyle, and it just wasn't congruent. It wasn't congruent. So we prefer to look at things as the glass half full.
Yes.
And to be abundant. So that's it in a nutshell. And there's a name for that. It's called codependent.
Yep.
It's called codependent. So what is codependency?
Well, that's when you talk about codependency. Essentially, is when there's only one source outside of yourself, or there could be a couple of different sources, and they're outside of yourself that you're counting on, whether it's for money or sexual intimacy. It could be a business partnership, and really, Nance, for us, it was like all three.
Yeah, we had all of that wrapped up.
Yeah.
We were married. We were obviously sexually intimate, and we were business partners.
Yeah.
And we had that together.
And kids and
enmeshed.
Enmeshed. That's a great word. Yeah.
So yes, we were definitely very codependent. It became incredibly clear to us right around like 2007, 2008. So we already had Rex, and we just had Lucas in 2007. So, looking back at it, as we were talking about that, looking back at it, we feel that that's basically where we hit rock bottom. We were sexless ships passing in the night. I mean, really. And we were totally stressed out.
We were living commission to commission check, and, God forbid we didn't get that extra, or that all the commission checks we needed that month. And a lot of times we didn't, because there wasn't any synergy, in between us or our business or really anything.
We totally believed in the whole, real estate autocorrection and the crash. And like we bought into that, and we did not believe that we were co-creators of our real estate business. We did not believe that we were the ones who were responsible for, the breakdown of our synergy. And we thought it was all external. It was always out there.
Yeah. Outside of us. Yeah.
We were blaming the economy. We were blaming, it was just all outside. We took no personal responsibility. Nothing. Massive credit card debt.
The two babies.
Yeah, they were little.
I mean, we were crashing. Our money was crashing. We weren't sure really how to navigate being parents, and believing in all this stuff. And I went back into the bar for, working at the bar for a while.
Yep, we had the conversation. Who's going back to work? Are you going back to work, or am I going back to work? And ultimately, you were like, no, I'll go back to work.
Yeah.
And then ultimately went through the bankruptcy also.
Right.
So the shit was definitely hitting the fan. Electricity was turned off, all that stuff. So we did do an episode on our bankruptcy and taking us through like our story of the bankruptcy and how we grew out of that, and the money principles that we put in place to this day and still have and evolved and everything. So go back and listen to that episode. That was an early one too. I feel like that was like episode 4 or 5.
Yeah, probably around there. It's still in our first season.
Yeah. Absolutely. And then the other thing on the real estate side, so that was the personal side. And then on the real estate side, we were bringing clients into our bedroom. Like we weren't having sex with each other, but we sure were
texting
having
and
conversations with our clients.
Yeah. That's funny. I didn't really think about it that way. And that's so true. We were like, there were no boundaries.
None.
When it came to, there were no boundaries.
Yeah, clients' business, emailing. Our laptops were out with us in bed or right up until we went to bed. And so basically it was like real estate pillow talk.
Yeah, and we had so little synergy, in our business because we were not synergized personally either. That, we were walking all over each other with our systems and how we did things and how we handled clients and, and how we handled each other. And it really led to some interesting, not so powerful habits. More alcohol, right?
Yes, absolutely. More alcohol.
Food.
Yep.
And the emotional eating.
Yep. Drinking every day.
Yeah.
Drinking every day.
Yeah. We were definitely looking to numb the stress or thought we could deal with the stress if we, numbed ourselves somehow. So, it was a tough time, and it does make me catch my breath a little bit, to think about that and to be it makes me, I'm glad for the experience. And it's not like I don't wish we had the experience. I catch my breath because it was a tough time, it was a tough time.
How do you feel about sharing it on the mic?
Great, because, I'm hoping that somebody can learn. Any of y'all out there, we'll pick up a nugget or two from our experience so that maybe you don't have to experience in the way that we did. And I understand that, we all have to have our experiences. So, hopefully this helps. And if you still need to have the experience, maybe you can lean back on this and to help you get it through it as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
for me, the what's coming up about sharing is definitely, there's a little fear about sharing so authentically about the different tragedies and trials and tribulations of our relationship. And I do have an understanding that, an awareness that a lot of people do share these same things and go through these same things and don't feel confident or empowered to share their experience for the purpose of connecting with somebody else or having somebody else relate to the story or go, wow, that's happening to me too. Or wow, I experienced that in my marriage. Or gosh, I love my husband so much and he's so amazing and he's all these amazing things. Yet I really do wish that I was having a super juicy, powerful sexual relationship with him. Or I really do wish that we were able to put the work down and then go out on a date night. Or I do wish that we could put the kids to bed early and then just watch our own shows independently. Like, I can watch Madam Secretary and you can watch Umbrella Academy or, like any of those things and have that delineation of space. And so that does create a sense of joy for me to be able to have the courage and have all of the work that I know that I've done on myself for the ability to share and again, be transparent back to the very beginning. So it's being transparent. And, we didn't set out to create a codependent relationship that was enmeshed and
so intertwined. I feel, I've done some research on, codependence, and I know that codependent people tend to gravitate to one another and enable each other. And I know that you and I didn't start out as codependent as we became. And it's really can be a natural byproduct of being together for so long.
Yeah, absolutely. Being together in a marriage and then, again, or if you're business partners and, because you are, back to the definition, codependency is you are my only source.
Not a resource, a source.
Right. You're my only source. So in a sexual relationship, you're my only source. Then that means if you don't feel like having sex, then guess what?
Yeah, you're shit out of luck.
Right. Or things go sideways and get perverted. And, that's where the infidelity comes in, or that's where the internet porn comes in, or that's where the magazines come in, or whatever the outlet is. Like that's that's how it goes sideways.
Mm-hmm.
And so, or you just end up, you become us, you are deeply in love with each other and yet you're not having sex, or you're having sex like once a month or something. And then it becomes out of obligation, or it becomes out of, it's a control thing, or you think that you're supposed to have sex because, we're married, or, it's just, maybe you're trying to have a baby because you think that things are going to fix things after you have a baby, or, and then it just becomes, again, it just gets all sideways. But I definitely remember experiencing the breakdowns and very tough conversations, a lot of tears, a lot of arguing, and just like the health breakdowns.
Oh man, I threw my back out around that time. Like when we went to Hawaii, did we talk about that already?
We didn't talk about, or New Jersey, remember?
Oh my gosh. We had a trip up for Luke's.
It was Rex's birthday. This was after Hawaii. But yeah, that's the longevity of the injury though.
It was years, and like it would take me out. Like there was no comfort. I couldn't stand, I couldn't sit, I couldn't lie down. It was like pills and a bottle of Jack Daniels, and maybe I could get a couple hours of sleep. It was crazy. And I know it was all related. Now I know that it was all related to my mental, or my my emotional state in those moments. For sure. The codependence, it will break you down. It will break you down. It can lead to depression and sadness and self-worth.
Lack of self-worth, anxiety, all of those things, panic attacks. Yeah.
So, and through all that, we were still committed to each other.
We were.
You drove 12
I drove you home, baby.
13 hours from New Jersey with me lying, down.
With the two babies.
With the two babies.
In the back seat. Yeah. We're gonna get home. No, it was definitely, it was never a question of the commitment. But what was becoming blatantly obvious was that the codependency was flatlining our energy.
Oh, for sure.
And, again, all of the coalescence of, or the connection of these points is hindsight. Like, let me be very clear about that. We did not know that this was codependency in action during the process.
Right. I personally wasn't smart enough to recognize the pattern.
Yeah, no. We didn't have, there was no
context or baseline. Right,
no.
right.
It wasn't like, hey, let me go read a book on codependency and figure this out. There was like no point of reference. It was almost like, yeah, this is a normal part of marriage. Just deal with it.
Totally. And, and honestly, aren't those the stories that we heard? I feel like those are the stories I heard. The husband makes fun of the wife and the wife makes fun of the husband, and, and they're always mad at each other. At the end of the day, they love each other, but, it's a very interesting codependent relationship where, nobody knows what to eat until somebody finally steps up and says, okay, let's have meatloaf tonight. Otherwise, what do you want? What do you want? What do you want? What do you want? What movie do you want to see? What movie do you want to see? What do you want to watch? It's,
Yeah. And how it showed up for us was that we didn't argue. We didn't argue at all. And what we were realizing was that we just didn't have conversation about it. Like, we didn't talk about it. And consequently, again, what we're coming to find out now is that our emotional maturity was very low, and we had no idea. Like, here we're growing in all of these different areas, yet our emotional maturity wasn't growing. Our intimacy certainly wasn't growing. And that's actually what we weren't talking about. We weren't talking about how to connect at a deeper level. So it was fascinating.
Now, we were guided, inspired to start doing some things for ourselves, because I think one of us or both of us knew that there was a greater experience to have.
Yes.
Than what we were having. So there was some seeking of like counseling.
Yeah, we did do counseling for a while. Yeah, absolutely. We went through Imago therapy certification. Like, we did the workbooks and that kind of stuff to mirror and match each other and communicate at a higher level. So there was definitely
a bunch of reading of books and
there was definitely like a draw to expand our context and expand our experience of our relationship. And then ultimately what we decided to we asked ourselves, we're like, all right, what is it going to take to get this thing moving forward? And we decided to take a vacation. We went to Hawaii for 8 days. So Rex was 2. Luke was like 9 months old, 10 months old or something.
And we didn't have the money to do it.
No, we didn't.
Like at all.
We
like
didn't.
we
So
leveraged.
This is 2008.
We leveraged the crap out of our credit cards, and there was a little bit, although there was a lot of denial around the money and where we were with our money to actually have done that. Yet it was the most genius thing we could have done.
Absolutely. And so it had been years since, and Bill and I traveled a lot before we had kids, like out of the country, and we just did a lot of really cool things. And we hadn't been on a vacation in a really long time. We certainly hadn't been on a vacation together. So we decided to go on a vacation. And while we were at the beach, we were literally in the water in Honolulu. And we're
feeling kind of sexy.
Absolutely.
I mean, we're in Hawaii. We're in bathing suits.
Yep.
We're in the water. It's beautiful, like so gorgeous. And we're surrounded by beautiful people. You know,
in paradise.
In paradise.
It was outstanding. And so we started talking, and it was decompressing, and we were talking and we were sharing, and then, we were just like, wow. I feel like we were having a conversation about all of the different coaches or the things like that we had lined up in place. And then at one point we were just like, wow, wouldn't it be great if we created this mastermind type situation where there were like a group of married couples who were super high energy,
work together,
healthy
entrepreneurs,
would hold each other accountable, just like really like interested in being in a committed relationship. Because I think what was happening was everybody we knew was going through a divorce also. Because at this point, we're like 10 years into our marriage.
Yeah, so we had gone through the marriages, then we had gone through the babies being born, and then it was our turn to watch some, a bunch, 50% of the divorces.
Yeah, absolutely. And so we were just like, wouldn't it be great to have this community of people that we could or like, it wasn't even a community. It was like this mastermind group that we could get together with on a consistent basis and assist each other, hold each other accountable, and da-da-da-da. And we're like, well, maybe we'll create that group. And neither one of us necessarily took action on creating the group, yet
we attracted a group of like-minded people.
Yeah.
It took a minute.
Yeah.
I mean, only 4 years. It's not like it took 10 or 20.
Yeah, but it took 4 years to create that. And so, yes, that is not a whole lot of time. But what we didn't realize, and again, as we're looking back, what we didn't realize then was that we were so in synergy with each other and like in that sexual energy space that we literally birthed this idea of creating this group of people. And that's who we have in our life now. Like that coalesced, that happened in 2012. And it's been amazing. I mean, you talk about a group of amazingly like-minded, conscious, fit, beautiful, high integrous entrepreneurs that we get to love on and support, and they get to love on and support us. I mean, it's just been...
Yeah, it's been amazing.
It's been amazing. So, yeah, we had no idea what we were doing back then, but after the reading and practicing and all that, that's exactly what we did.
And
we manifested.
Yeah, I love that we reflected on that and then figured out that actually it was actually sexual energy that spawned that next iteration.
Yep.
And the 4-year thing. I think about the 4-year thing, and it'd be easy to say, okay, they're creating an attachment around the time or the how or whatever, but yet it happened. It happened.
Absolutely. Just we put it in the incubator and boop.
Yeah.
There it was. I mean, we had to do all of our work too to align with the community as well. So that's what we were doing. I mean, it was great. And talk about that a little bit more. Like ultimately, like the alignment, the behind the scenes work, the incubation period, if you will, is when we went through all the breakdowns, we went through the tears, we went through the arguing, we went through the redefining of what a marriage meant to us, redefining what it meant to feel, intimate with myself and you yourself and each other as a couple and all of those things. I mean, that's been an ongoing process through this time frame too.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. And and it led us to, I mean, how many years have been married now?
We have
21.
How long have we been married?
We've been together for 25 years. So we've been married for 21.
So we got married in 1999.
Yes.
So 20. So it's been 21. Okay.
Yep. Going on 22.
Yes, absolutely. It'll be, on May 30th, 2021, it will be 22 years of marriage.
Yeah. And ultimately, through this process and being in community with others, we chose to continue on with each other. We chose each other. We've renewed vows and recommitted through those vows to what a new standard and a different standard that we're playing for. I mean, it's not. I don't know. We had a very traditional Lutheran marriage. With some very traditional vows, and all of them are great and still are.
Absolutely. Our wedding rocked. Are you kidding me?
Yep.
We had fireworks, y'all. It was on a yacht.
Yep. And we renewed vows recently, and the boys remarried us. That was totally beautiful.
Yes. So I don't know if you guys know or not, but Bill's a minister, an ordained minister. And so he wrote our wedding ceremony and influenced. I mean, all he had to do was ask the boys to say, hey, we're gonna, mom and dad are gonna do this, but this was a surprise for me. And here are the wedding vows, and it's your responsibility, Rex and Luke, to divide up the vows.
Yeah, the reading of the vows.
The reading of the vows, and it was so beautiful. And we have, I received new wedding rings. And we were married in a beautiful park here in Atlanta that is very near and dear to our hearts. We had many Mother's Day picnics there and Father's Day picnics and Easter, and that's where the kids learned how to ride bikes, and we would go hiking, and we would bring the little tricycles and the little scooters, and then ultimately we were running the trails with the kids or swimming in the Chattahoochee, or it's just really beautiful. So we were there. And it was beautiful. I mean, 25 years of working together, being together, and all the iterations. So that the wedding vow renewal happened on June 6th, 2020. So we now have 2 anniversaries.
Yes.
Which is awesome. So it's cool. Can I, a little known fact about that. So Rex is born on our anniversary. So Rex was our 7-year itch baby. So June 6th was actually his due date. And we got married on June 6th. So, like it or not, we're just synchronistic with that combination of Rex being born in our anniversary. Anywho.
Beautiful.
I digress.
Yeah.
You were going to say something.
I just want to talk about I want to get back to how we use sex to fuel our business.
Yes, let's do it. I love it. It's juicy. It's yummy.
It is.
It's real.
So we did read a lot of different books.
Oh yeah.
The Tao,
of health, sex, and longevity. Yep.
Sex
at Dawn.
Oh yeah, Sex at Dawn was a great book for sure.
A lot of books by Mantak Chia.
So we attracted call him a master coach
for sure. Absolutely. Watched a lot of videos on just mastering sexual energy. Yeah.
So, and really the essence of all these readings were that, sex is, with the highest creative energy.
Yep. Absolutely. And then with the codependency piece too, you see this a lot in real estate with couples. It's again, remember, if codependency is the only source that I'm counting on, whether it's money, marriage, business partnership, whatever, there are a lot of couples in real estate. And codependency kills synergy. And in order to have synergy, you have to have 2 independent people working independently yet synergizing. And so when you have a partnership in business, that is also a marriage in your personal life, then it naturally just goes away. It kills it. So you're not synergized at all.
Right. So the independence creates, a higher level of self-worth.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what I'm hearing you say?
Yeah.
I mean, and we know that self-worth attracts, clients and brings confidence, and it writes contracts, and I think about when I put on, my best suit or my best fitting shirt, or, you put on your best dress and you're feeling confident in that.
Yeah. You're vibing. It's electrified. It's like, oh yeah, I look freaking awesome.
Right. And when you feel awesome, you feel
turned on.
Yes.
It's that energy. It's that energy coursing through your veins. It's like, ooh, man, I'm like crushing it right now. Queen of the kitchen table. Yes, I am.
Queen of the kitchen table.
Come get me.
Yeah.
Ask me any question. I'm gonna nail it.
And it doesn't matter what you say.
Right.
Because your energy and your vibe is so high that there automatically is like a trust and a willingness or a wantingness to do business with you because of the energy that you bring to the table.
Yes. Absolutely. Because the energy, again, high self-worth equals high self-love for yourself. And it's that being turned on energy. It's magnetic. And if you think of a magnet, and when you're turned on sexually, I mean, that's the energy of it. Let's be real about this, guys. When you're turned on, you're feeling sexy, and it creates a attractor field or an attractor field. And so people, listings, clients, money, resources, you name it, they're attracted into your field. That's how the law of attraction works. And in a heightened sexual state, that's the highest form of attractor field. And so, over years of practicing these practices in a very healthy way, we've developed our business around these practices, because what happened was we started seeing synchronicities around, our oming, or synchronicities around our lovemaking, or synchronicities around just keeping that sexual energy high. And then we're like, wow, is this really happening? Like, can we count on this? Is this a consistency? Like, is this an actuality, or is this just a happenstance? Like literally just a coincidence. Well, there aren't any coincidences, and we are the creator and the director of our life. I mean, building a life by design, that's what this is about. And so through intention and practice, we surrender to the concept of utilizing sexual energy to fuel our business. And so that's what we do.
Every Monday. And it's in another. Oh no, it's our first one.
Yeah, it's only.
Yep. It's the orgasmic meditation.
Yep.
Every Monday. And then we have multiple partners.
We do, because you have to. Well, you don't have to do anything. This is just how we chose to express ourselves. And again, you can't get all things and all experiences from one person. It's impossible, and it's unfair. It's unfair for me to expect Bill to be my everything. It's unfair of that. It creates an expectation that ultimately leads to attachment or judgment. When it doesn't happen, it leads to control and manipulation. It leads to, guess what?
Codependency. Yeah, all those are symptoms of codependency for sure.
Yeah.
So we have standards and guidelines that govern our relationships. We agreed to start building trusting relationships with other partners, which cultivated and does continue to cultivate independence and self-worth within ourselves. So
with us. I mean, it comes back to us.
For sure.
I mean, that's
and it always does. Yeah.
That's the part that you're like, this doesn't make any sense. Like, how does this energy come back to us and fuel us and imbue us and enforce and not enforce, but reinforce us. Thank you.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
And the thing is, you can sit there and think about it and think about it and think about it and be in this whole headspace about it. And it doesn't make any fucking sense. It just doesn't. It is of the heart. It's emotional, and it's self-worth and taking a stand for you. And, with all those, with that whole little mix that you put together, it brings it back. It always brings it back home. It always brings it back home. And, if you had tried to convince me in my rational mind a few years ago that that's how it would have worked, I would have laughed in your face.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And yet, because I'm more aware of it, I see more examples of what I'm talking about, not only for us, but within others as well. So I see it happen real time.
Like what?
Where in multiple partner situations where the love you take with you comes back tenfold.
Mm-hmm. Got it. Yeah, absolutely. And there are many, many, many ways to run a business. There are many ways to lead generate.
Yeah, that's true.
There are many ways to market. There are many ways. So this is definitely something that this is how we choose to experience our life, because again, back to half glass full, in that we practice abundance and abundance mentality. We believe that we can have it all, and we do have it all. We have a thriving company with multiple businesses. We have thriving relationships with multiple lovers that fill us up and that allow us the space to pour back into myself, and then myself and Bill, and Bill into himself, and again out of that,
and the kids and family and
yep,
all those around us get filled up because we keep ourselves full.
Yes, and so we don't have to not have one in order to have the other. We have it all. And so that's how we choose to practice it. But there's definitely lots of different ways to practice independence, to where, if you don't subscribe to our practice, which is totally fine. But there's lots of different ways to do it. This is simply how we chose and we choose to express ourselves.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I mean, there are other ways to create, independent relationships for sure, like you were saying. And for us, and what we've found is, if you're going to, I'm not saying we're shortcutting it, but the path of least resistance to me is the path that we took. And it's not to say that, we still don't have our ups and downs and challenges and, all that kind of stuff, for sure. Yeah. It's just these are the tools that we chose to use because we knew, and are finding out that it is it's the path of least resistance. Really, it doesn't sound like it, but it is. Some other things you can do to build an independent relationship with yourself is, knowing what you like and knowing what matters to you and taking a stand for it. Not being afraid to ask for what you want. Making sure that you're spending time outside of just, your spouse or your significant other, friends and family, and having other relationships. And to have some values or to have some standards. I mean, what are your values? What do you hold high that that no matter what you're gonna adhere to? What values? And making time for hobbies and interests and those kind of things that are independent of others is also amazing. So I mean, so there's other ways to do it.
Yep.
And you can Google all that or seek help and all that. But
or you could hire us and coach with us, and we'll share with you how to do all that too.
Now that is an amazing idea. For
Yes. Yeah. And again, it is not all rainbows and unicorns over here, guys. We still move through consciously uncoupling codependency tendencies, and Bill and I definitely still have guttural breakdowns, and it's hard. I mean, it's confronting, and it's hard, and it's gritty and shitty and all the words, and yet ultimately we love each other. We're committed to each other, and through the sulking or the moodiness or the emotional maturity, as we increase those things and remember what we're planned for in this extraordinary life, and to have extraordinary relationships, and surrender to God and or source or spirit or whatever you want, and really it's surrendering to the idea and remembering the idea that we attracted each other for the purpose of healing and serving our higher purpose as a couple.
And that is what we really want to convey to all of you is you are with your partner for a reason. For a level of healing, for maturing each other and maturing yourselves, and don't take it lightly. It's a responsibility.
And it's a gift.
Yeah.
I mean, your partner is a gift. You are a gift to me.
And you have the genius to figure it out, whether it's from the mind or hopefully from the heart.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You calling me a genius?
Yeah, you're a genius.
I love that. I know. You're a genius too.
Thanks, Einstein.
I'm smarter than Einstein.
I know.
Oh my goodness, that's awesome. And just remember, guys, I mean, we're here for you. We're on this journey with you. We're right there with you in the trenches, in the whole thing. And that's what we feel our higher purpose is to be in service to you and to other couples and really even individuals as they prepare their themselves for the relationship of a lifetime or relationships of a lifetime and just leveraging our experiences to support you and that are having that full abundant life.
Yes.
So I mean it's really beautiful.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It is beautiful and
Yep.
it is abundant.
Mm-hmm.
And there are days when I don't appreciate it all, and then there's other days where I'm like, wow, this is just freaking amazing. And I have more of those days now than the other. So that's fantastic as well.
That's awesome.
So.
I love that. Thank you for leaning in with me, baby.
Yes.
I love it.
Anything else you'd like to share today?
Oh my gosh. I mean, I just want to remind everybody to feel free to contact us like our a couple of our listeners did and just asked for clarification and additional context and to go in deeper because we're happy to share. We love hearing from you about what it is that you have questions about because it allows us to be in service
Yes.
to you, and support you and where you are in your journey and be a sounding board or whatever it is. So we definitely appreciate you listening. We definitely appreciate your reviews and your downloads and subscribing to the podcast. So keep that going.
Keep the comments up.
Yep.
Keep hanging out with us.
Yep. Absolutely. We appreciate you a lot.
sexmoneyrealestate@gmail.com.
Thank you. Instagram is @sexmoneyrealestate.
No .com.
No. And then definitely, are you showing your age right now?
Why?
There's no .com on an Instagram thing.
I'm just...
You're so silly. And then our Facebook page, our private Facebook page. Well, it's @sexmoneyreal or excuse me, see facebook.com/sexmoneyrealestate. And then come see us in the private chat where we go in deeper.
For sure.
All these things. So
Cool. Well, love goes out.
yes.
Appreciate you all. Go out there, use your genius, be
Yes.
amazing,
Yes.
and we'll see you on the flip side.
Awesome. Love you guys. Bye for now.
Wow, what a show. Thank you so much for listening. And if you're inspired, we ask that you share the podcast with one person and subscribe and follow the show. I'm Bill Jamison.
And I'm Nancy Jamison.
And remember, it's
a great life. Quick note about the Sex, Money, and Real Estate podcast. We are not doctors or licensed therapists. We are a joyous, abundant, and mature couple passionately sharing our story of growth around sex, money, and real estate. Our thoughts, opinions, and beliefs are our own, so please consult your doctor, healthcare provider, or your broker regarding any questions or issues you have related to your physical or mental health or specific state laws regarding your real estate business.